Hey guys, it's Jen, and I'm here to record my answers for days 8 and 9 of the 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. And so day 8 is what was our most worked deck in 2016 and why. And that definitely shifted for me a lot through the course of the year. Probably if I had to choose only one tarot deck, it would have been the Marielle, which I talked about last time, that I used the most. And in terms of Oracle, that was pretty easy when I reflected on it to think about which one I used most, which was the Tao Oracle. So I'll talk a little bit about that. I didn't use this as much for spreads, and I don't have the guidebook out here with me, but I only sometimes refer to the guidebook, but I used it really as a study deck, and I did daily draws with it every day for a number of months, as opposed to other decks that sort of came in and out. So I will show you guys some of the cards, and I've actually recorded some stuff about this before. So basically, there's a whole bunch of different symbols on the cards that are just different ways of depicting the same thing. Each of the hexagrams is made up of 2 trigrams. And so they show here, you can see the lines for the trigrams. And here are little symbols to help interpret them. So in this case, we would have wind over lake. And then the colors actually go with those symbols too. So it looks like the wind over lake is like a blue over like a light pink. I didn't really look at the colors at the top, but it is there. So there's a number of different ways to describe it. And then it says, what hexagram that is. So in this case, we have 60, which is limitation, and it gives descriptions, keywords for it. And then in the book, it goes more into depth in terms of the description, and it describes the changing lines. So if you're actually throwing the I Ching, then you can, include the changing lines and get much more specific about the dynamics of what's going on. So these are just some more examples. In terms of why I use this so much, other than just being kind of fascinated by different systems like this, I'm really interested in studying a bit about human design and learning about that. And human design incorporates a lot of different systems, including a body graph. It's sort of like a chakra system in which you can see how your different energy centers are working and how it's best for you to respond to the world or make decisions based on that. But also human design incorporates astrology, which I'm quite familiar with, and it incorporates the hexagrams. And then probably another reason why is because my boyfriend, who is not really into divination or tarot that much, sometimes I draw for him, but he doesn't really do it for himself, but he does sometimes throw the I Ching, and he's been familiar with that for a number of years. So I enjoy, even though he has a different perspective on it because he hasn't really used these cards so much, I enjoy discussing with him his knowledge of what the hexagrams might mean. Oh, I just knocked the cards on the floor. Ooh. All right, so some example of the Tao Oracle, and I have, cards. I've talked about that a bit more before in another video. Some of the other decks that I used a lot, I did use the Soulful Woman guidance cards towards the end of the year quite a bit. I used a number of different tarot decks at different times. The Awakened Soul Oracle I used quite a bit towards the end of the year. So, and the Gaia Oracle, if I do need to do a spread and I want to go kind of more in depth in terms of oracles, I would say the Gaia Oracle or the Enchanted Map or Wisdom of the Oracle cards. I did do some spreads with, and the tarot cards would depend at different times. But the most used deck during the year, hands down, was the Tao Oracle. So that was question 8. And in terms of question 9, that was the top 5 decks on our wish list. I could easily go on and on about this and mention at least 10 or 12 decks, but it's helpful to actually think, okay, what are the top 5? So I would say these are all decks that I've been aware of for some time and just haven't gotten around to purchasing yet, mostly because I think I need more time to bond with them, and I actually have a lot of pretty heavy-hitting decks right now that I still need to bond with. So the top 5 on my wish list that I do plan on getting at some point in 2017 are the Marguerite Peterson Tarot, which just looks so gorgeous. I love the use of color and how impressionistic it is. I think it would be really interesting to work with intuitively. The Tarot of the Holy Light seems like an amazing study deck, and I have the app for that on my phone. It's one of the cards that pops up for the day on my phone every day, so I'll kind of glance at it there and read. Tarot of the She, which I still haven't. It's funny because I've been aware of that one for so long, and I love Fae energy, and yet it didn't feel like time to work with it yet in 2016. So, yeah, but that's still on my list. Oracle of Echoes looks absolutely evocative and fascinating, and I love the style of artwork. It just seems like it would be a really deep deck to work with. And Soul Cards 1, because I have Soul Cards 2, and I could expand on that. So I'm going to say that's my top 5 for right now. I'm sure these will all be amazing decks, and I'll get them at some point. There are other ones, too, that are on my radar, like the Wisdom Keepers Oracle in color, because I have the black and white, the Alchemical Tarot, Hardy Tarot, Masonic Tarot, Solabusca. Those are honorable mentions, but I was going to say if I needed to narrow it down to 5, it's those 5 I just mentioned, and those will probably be the ones that I will most definitely be getting in the next year at some point, but I have a number of decks I still need to bond with at this point. So anyway, a little bit quicker video today, but I would say that that's a little something for days 8 and 9, and I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye!